Yo, what's going on everybody? It's MF Buddy and I'm back with another video to help you master your zero build gameplay. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the newest creative map to get the best practice and quickest improvements for Fortnite zero build. Now, the map I'm going to be talking about, some of you might have heard of it. In fact, you might already be playing, but I wanted to make this video because I want this map to get as much exposure as possible so there's people playing it more often and more people can get the practice that they need to improve. Also, the map code is going to be in the description, so please take a look there if you're wondering what the code is. Without further ado, let's get into it. Zero Build Pro and content creator Zemi recently dropped a new creative map called Zero Build PvP. The first thing that I love about this map is that it is strictly zero build and created with the zero build community in mind. I think this is great because overall there is still a major need for creative maps that help those who play zero build to practice. The format of Zero Build PvP is Duo Zone Wars. The map allows up to 30 players, which is a perfect number to practice realistic zero build endgames at the highest level. When you first load into the map, you end up in a beautifully designed pregame lobby where there are 15 teams that you can choose from. After choosing your team, you then end up in a voting area where there are currently 4 maps that you can vote on each round. The 4 maps are Sleepy Sound, which was on the Chapter 3 map, Chonkers Speedway, which was also Chapter 3 and personally my favorite POI to drop, Frenzy Fields from Chapter 4, and Fencing Fields from this current season. After voting is complete, the game begins. Each round starts with a late game zone and you dive down right into the action. As far as loot pool goes, the map creator decided on realistic loot that is a mix from Chapter 4 Season 4 and Fortnite OG. He also chose to leave out sniper rifles, which I personally think was a great choice. For ARs, there is assault rifle, scars, heavy ARs, and the twin mag AR, which I know a lot of people are gonna love. For shotguns, you will either have a pump or attack shotgun. For utility, there is bunkers in the game, which is incredible. You spawn with bunkers every single round. And for mobility, there's shockwaves, grapple guns, and you can search chests and potentially find a rift to go as well. For heals, there's a typical loot pool of floppers, shieldfish, medkits, minis, and big pot. Also, there's no legendary slurps or overpowered heals in the loot pool, which I think makes for a great balance. Speaking of healing, one thing that is cool is that the healing mechanics for Chapter 5 are actually on this creative map. So if you're popping a big pot, you can move around just like in Battle Royale. Now, although the loot pool is not current with this chapter, I still think it makes for some really great practice. There is still a lot of improvement that you can get from this map by learning how to play in very intense situations, learning how to rotate in endgame, learning how to conserve your bunkers and when to use them, and learning when to fight and when not to fight. Another unique thing about this map that I want to point out is that after each round, you actually have the ability to change teams, which for a lot of creative maps, that is not really a thing. Between rounds, you can go back into the team room and join another team if you would like. There's one last thing that I actually want to highlight about this map. We all know how annoying it is to die off spawn and then have to spectate the rest of the game until a round is over. But with this map, you actually don't have to do that. The creator of the map actually gives you a choice to respawn or spectate after you die. And while you wait for the current round to end, you actually can go into a sub-game of Anvil Square FFA. Now, this doesn't need a ton of breakdown because it's just a great option to be able to keep playing instead of watching someone else play. It's just that non-stop action that everyone's gonna love. Unfortunately, there's still a handful of bugs and issues with the map, but Zemi has already publicly mentioned and talked about it, and it seems like they're really working to make this a phenomenal map. I'm gonna lay out a couple things that I've noticed just to make you guys aware, but again, before I go into these, just know that this map is still 100% something that you guys should be playing. So number one, the lobbies overall seem to be laggy when I played them. Even when I play on Central, where I'm supposed to get 0 ping, there still feels like there is a lot of lag going on in these servers. There was a bug that was happening a couple days ago where the map wouldn't recognize that a team had won, meaning that the last team alive actually would just have to go run into Storm and die. But as of yesterday, that seems to have been patched and there was a solution implemented for that. There also was another bug that after you initially chose a team, you sometimes don't get sent to the voting lobby and sometimes you don't end up in the match even though you chose your team in time, even though you did all the right things. Sometimes it bugs you and then you end up not being able to play. So the good news is that you still can choose to respawn and go play Anvil FFA while you wait. But last night I did have it happen where I ended up being able to play Anvil, got to the next round and still got bugged and wasn't able to play. Now, there's just a couple suggestions that I would throw out here that I think would really improve the overall experience of the game. When you go to choose respawn or spectate, I think it would be really good if there was a box that popped up that said, "Are you sure?" Because once you click one or the other, you don't get the option to go back. Even if you go into your menu and hit respawn, you're stuck kind of with the choice. And really where I felt this is the respawn and the spectate. Honestly, it looks kind of confusing at times. So I accidentally chose spectate, but I meant to chose respawn. And then I had to spectate the whole Zone Wars when I really wanted to play Anvil. I think it would be really helpful if there was a little box that popped up that said, "You're about to spectate. Are you sure? You're about to respawn. Are you sure?" So something like that I think would be really helpful, because there's been a handful of times where I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, but I can't go back and do anything about it. The other thing that I think would really help take this map to the next level is when you go to play Anvil, instead of it being a glide down into the lobby, I think it would be really great if players spawned across the map. Everybody kind of drops in from the exact same location, which kind of makes all the fights congested to one general area of the Anvil map. You know, the whole map ends up not really getting used, and it kind of just makes for a cluster when you're in there. But I think that if you were spawning on the ground instead of gliding in from above, I think it would make that little waiting area or mini game a lot better, in my opinion. So apart from those bugs, apart from those tweaks, this map has honestly been a blast to play. I think I've spent more time playing this map than Battle Royale the last couple days. So if you are looking to have some great endgame practice, how to be calm in intense situations, and how to overall become a better player, you need to be playing this map. That's gonna do it for this video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to comment, to like, most importantly to subscribe for more Zero Build content like this. I am MF Buddy, GG's.